Subject to a number of strict requirements, the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, have suggested creating an alliance with the African National Congress, ANC. Please kindly hit on the subscribe button as we go into the details. The Democratic Alliance, DA, and Freedom Front Plus, FF Plus. The ANC's existing coalition partners for national unity are expressly prohibited from cooperating with the EFF in their plan. Julius Malema, the head of the EFF, laid out the requirements of the party for the possible collaboration at a news conference on Friday. Central to these demands is the immediate suspension of any coalitions the ANC maintains with the DA and FF+. Malema stressed that the EFF is essentially against the ideas and programs of both parties, calling them incompatible with the party's goals for South Africa. Malema said, "Transformative policies that aim to redress historical injustices have been consistently opposed by the DA and FF+, who represent the interests of a privileged minority. The ANC's breakup with these conservative parties is a need for our cooperation with them." Other requests in the plan include nationalizing important companies, speeding up land expropriation without compensation, and enacting significant changes to healthcare and education systems. Additionally, the EFF is adamant about taking a more active stand against corruption and pushing for laws that will provide the oppressed majority economic empowerment. The EFF's request was received, according to ANC spokeswoman Pule Mabe, who also said that the party's leadership will carefully weigh the requirements. South Africa will be united and wealthy, as the ANC is dedicated to achieving. In order to decide what is best for our country, we shall examine the terms set out by the EFF, Mabe said. Opinions among political observers about this planned alliance's possible effects are mixed. While some caution that it would alienate moderate and centrist voters, others argue that it might improve the ANC's standing in the next elections. The ANC's choice will be carefully observed as it has the potential to drastically alter South Africa's political climate and impact future policy and governance in the nation. Once more, the major opposition Democratic Alliance, DA, and the ruling African National Congress, ANC, have resumed their negotiations to establish a new coalition government after a short break. Nonetheless, in order to guarantee a prompt conclusion to the political unrest now engulfing the country, the Inkatha Freedom Party, IFP, has encouraged both parties to move quickly through the process. The ANC and DA have been engaged in discussions to create a government of national unity, GNU, after the inconclusive conclusion of the 2016 elections. It has been said by both parties that they are prepared to set aside their ideological differences in order to cooperate for the sake of the nation. The IFP spokesman, Phumlani Madubula, said that while the party is happy that negotiations have resumed, the ANC and DA must give priority to forming a coalition government in order to provide the country the much-needed stability and direction. Madubula stressed that in order to improve the lot of all South Africans, it is imperative that all parties concerned put aside their own agendas and focus on establishing common ground. Additionally, he urged the DA and ANC to interact with minor parties like the IFP in order to guarantee that the coalition government would represent a range of viewpoints. As the time for the creation of a coalition government is running out, the ANC and DA are under increasing pressure to agree on important topics including economic recovery, corruption, and service delivery. The urgency shown by the IFP is a clear reminder of how crucial quick political action is during emergencies. All eyes are on the ANC and DA to fulfill their promise of a more inclusive and cooperative administration for all South Africans as the country waits for a conclusion to the current coalition discussions. In South Africa, the African National Congress, ANC, and the Democratic Alliance, DA, are considering extending their agreement on Government of National Unity, GNU, to the municipal level. This could change the dynamics of local governance in municipalities where no party won a majority in the most recent elections. Political stakeholders are paying close attention to this trend and debating it as both sides try to find ways to work together in the face of a fractured political environment. The GNU agreement is a strategic alignment intended to break through political impasse and advance common policy interests. It was first envisioned at the national level to encourage cooperation between the DA and ANC in certain provinces and government ministries. The emphasis would be on creating coalitions or cooperative government structures under the proposed expansion to municipalities in order to guarantee efficient service.